everybody, so we've got a fun review today because we're finally talking about M3GAN. We're finally into 2023, and what a better way to kick off 2023 than with a horror film like M3GAN, which was a film I was very excited for, I'm not gonna lie. Regardless of the stigma around January usually being a dumping ground for movies, I had high expectations for M3GAN just because I always love stuff that James Wan is involved with. Akilah Cooper is great, both of them worked on *Malignant*, one of my favorites from a couple years ago, and the marketing for M3GAN has been top-notch. Some of the best horror marketing outside of Smile. I mean, M3GAN literally just had a halftime show performance at the Chargers game. When Gemma unexpectedly becomes the caretaker for her niece Katie, under pressure at work, she pairs Katie with M3GAN, a lifelike artificial intelligence designed to protect whoever they bond with, leading to unimaginable consequences. When it comes to the subgenre of horror, the killer doll movie, very rarely does it ever turn out successfully, other than, of course, Chucky from the Child's Play franchise and Annabelle from the Conjuring universe. There aren't really a whole lot of other iconic figures in that subgenre. I'd maybe even lump in Puppet Master as a success just because there were so many sequels, but honestly, I would probably put M3GAN in the success category because I found M3GAN to be an extremely fun horror film. One of the biggest reasons this film succeeds, in my opinion, really is just the fact that M3GAN makes the most of the idea. It knows what it is, completely embraces the concept, and isn't trying to take itself overly seriously. The film does still manage to deliver when it comes to crafting genuinely creepy moments of terror throughout the film's runtime, but it is leaning way more into the horror comedy realm than full-blown horror with its overall tone it's going for and the overabundance of campy moments. Not often enough do you see these type of films strike that perfect balance when it comes to the tone. You know, a lot of times it's overly funny or overly serious, and I think it does hit that middle ground here where you can have a lot of moments in here where you are laughing your ass off at the stuff that M3GAN does, and you can also be as much terrified at some of the things that M3GAN does. I don't want to do any premature crowning because this is only her first film, but just based on the foundation of this very first film for this character, I think that M3GAN potentially could be a new horror icon. Because I feel like all the ingredients are there. Even before all of the mayhem ensues, I thought it was really nice watching this bond form between her and Katie as they're playing together, having these fun moments together. M3GAN practically is taking care of her much like a proxy mother at times, helping her with mundane tasks like making sure she flushes the toilet. Seriously, that's actually a scene in the movie. We all know eventually the cracks are going to start to form though, and the conflicts do arise. And once those conflicts do arise and M3GAN starts being very overprotective of Katie due to the fact that she's an AI and she's learning the entire time, that is where a lot of the entertainment aspects do go into for this film. It's the best part of the film for me is when M3GAN is just going full out causing mayhem. The way that she deals out punishment is extremely creative. Just the weaponry that's involved, tearing bits of ears off and then flicking it, that was one of the most funniest scenes. I know it's supposed to be scary, but I laughed, I'm sorry. And the fact that she's so playful while she's doing it, she's dancing, she's saying all these hilarious one-liners after one-liners along the way. It's unfortunate that it isn't a very bloody film by any means. It is PG-13 after all. They do still pack in a lot of thrilling scares and there is some bloody moments, but there has to be an R-rated, unrated cut of this somewhere. I feel like there was a lot of stuff edited out because they wanted the PG-13 rating and a higher box office result due to that. All the campiness for M3GAN aside, one of the things I found most interesting that sure, the story at its core is a killer doll movie, but there is some really interesting underlying themes to M3GAN with its script. Obviously, the most easy one is the fact that modern technology is scary and the horrors of the fact that we might actually have something like M3GAN in the very near future, but there are other things that I thought were pretty interesting. Even if I do wish they dug a little bit deeper into them, like the fact that it tackles grief, trauma, and loss since Katie lost her parents and M3GAN is kind of an attempt to fill that void, and the fact that Allison Williams' character is kind of forced into being a mother in this situation and has no idea how to be a mother, which in hindsight, I think giving her the potential killer doll probably was a horrible idea, but we learned that lesson the hard way. All around, M3GAN is a fun, campy horror roller coaster I couldn't get enough of, striking a perfect balance of laughs with scares. It's clever enough to keep you entertained and have you clamoring for more appearances for M3GAN on the big screen. It'll be be very exciting to see where we go with the future of the character. There have been so many rumblings of a sequel or potential crossovers. I've heard some like Annabelle versus Megan and Chucky versus Megan, which I guess would make more sense because they're both under the Universal umbrella as opposed to Annabelle being over at Warner Brothers. But now you've heard my thoughts on Megan. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What did you think of Megan if you're going to check it out in theaters this week? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? When it comes to the character of Megan, how are you feeling about the character? Do you think that she has the potential to be a future horror icon? You wasn't feeling the character? Or are you kind of in the middle as far as the character goes and you maybe need to see her in another film or two before you put her on the pedestal with all the other horror icons? I think it's going to be fun to see where we go with this because it does have that franchise potential. And because of the fact that it's Blumhouse, I would not be shocked if they announce a Megan 2 very shortly after the film does well. I have a good feeling it's going to do pretty well at the box office. There's not a lot out right now. It is January after all. So instead of going and seeing Avatar: The Way of Water for the 4th or 5th time, make sure you go see Megan in theaters instead. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with either one, but Megan is a great way to kick off the horror movie season because I think 2023 is going to be another great year for the genre. Thank you guys for watching the videos though. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel so we update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. But next time, I'll see you guys later.